except those slaves of you, Ya Allah, who are mukhlis to you. Ikhlas is like a rock solid metal cover. If ikhlas is around us, in us, shaitan cannot even cut one hair from us. How easy it is for some people to pray Fajr every day in the masjid. In every masjid there are these kind of people. You know them very well, and sometimes you say, Ya Allah, how you make that person come? Not a single missing day. Even the Imam of the masjid knows this person or these people are every day in Fajr. And for others, sometimes some slack off somewhere. These are the mukhlaseen, ikhlas. And that is why they are there every day in Fajr. Fajr is one of the most challenging and difficult salah. If we win the battle of Fajr, we have won half the battle of life against shaitan. If we lose the battle of Fajr, the battle that takes place in the morning, we have lost half the battle. And that is what he's saying. وَمَا لِي عَلَيْكُمْ مِنْ سُلْطَانٍ. He is confessing, I had no authority above you, except I دَعَوْتُكُمْ فَاسْتَجَبْتُمْ. I invited you, and you listened to. I invited you to do that guna, that sin, you did it. I invited you to not listen to your parents, you did it. I didn't do it. I invited you to go and kill that person, you did it. I didn't do it. I invited you to go rob a bank, you did it. I didn't do it. I invited you to badmouth that person, you did it. I didn't do it. I invited you to do ghiba, gossiping, backbiting of someone, you did it. I didn't do it. This is what shaitan is saying. And then he goes on to say, فَلَا تَلُومُونِي وَلُومُوا أَنفُسَكُمْ. Oh, that's going to like send a lot of salt on the injury. Zakham pe namak chhadna. There's going to be a lot of salt on Yawm al-Qiyamah on the injury of people. Muslims who are doomed to go to Jahannam, at that moment when they listen to shaitan and he says to them, do not blame me. فَلَا تَلُومُوا. Lumu is from lom, lam, wow, me. It means blame. Don't play the blame game. Shaitan is saying, don't blame it to me. Here in this dunya, when we get angry and we say bad things to people, later on when we regret, we come down, we say, I'm sorry, shaitan made me do it. No, shaitan didn't make you do it. Shaitan only ordered you, invited you. You did. We very easily find an excuse and say, I'm sorry, brother, whatever I did, I'm very sorry. Shaitan made me do it. Shaitan got the best of me. No, I became weak. Shaitan is not strong. Shaitan is saying, وَمَا لِي عَلَيْكُمْ مِنْ سُلْطَانٍ. Shaitan is saying, I have no power, authority over you. I have nothing. I can't force you to do anything. And then in the other place he's saying, إِلَّا عِبَادَكَ مِنَ الْمُخْلَصِينَ. And if you have ikhlas, I have no authority anyway above you. So that is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying here. And that's why we cannot blame in the dunya to shaitan everything. And that's what he's saying. فَلَا تَلُومُونِي وَلُومُوا أَنفُسَكُمْ. Shaitan will say to us, to Bani Adam on the day of judgment, don't blame me, blame yourself. You were the weak one. You are the one who fell apart. You were the one who didn't have a commitment strong to Allah. You fell apart. You are the one who were enjoying life in dunya. You were the one who were drowned in the materialistic luxuries of the world. Again, I don't mean that we criticize the materialistic luxuries of the world. Allah has given us those things, yes, we use that. But drowning means that we don't take the luxuries of life and then forget Allah and forget our existence here on earth. We're not here in this world. Why are we here in this world? Are we just here to have a job and get married and have kids and raise them and get them married and become grandparents? Is this a life? This is a meaningless life, a purposeless life. If this is all we are here for, to just live in this life a really daily grind, redundant life, that I'm just taking care of things, going about my 9-to-5 job, come home, do my 5 prayers, and that's it. Raise my kids, God-fearing kids, put them in a good school, give them good tarbiyah, have them get married, then I am missing the boat. I'm missing the bus. Yes, Allah says, do all these things too, but also give something to my deen. The question we need to ask is, what have we contributed to Islam? If we are not engaged, or if we are not involved in an Islamic activity, either in the masjid or in an Islamic organization and doing some kind of work for the propagation of Islam or for the benefit of the Islamic community, whether it's social work, whether it's religious work, whether it's political work, any kind, whether you are in care or whether you're in ISNA or ICNA or any other Jama'ah, or whether you are in terms of the masjid, or whether you are in terms of some other social organization that's feeding the poor, anything, there has to be a purpose in life. I tell my kids always that there's no use of having a regular daily life because everybody else is doing the same thing. What differentiates us from them? By them I mean the non-Muslim. They also have a job, they have a good education, a good career, they have kids, they raise their kids, they get their kids married, then they become grandparents. They go through the same grind that we go through. But the difference between their life and our life should be that we're living here for Ar-Rahman. We are Ibadur Rahman. And so our existence should show that we are contributing to Ar-Rahman's propagation on earth. The name of Ar-Rahman gets spread through any means possible, whether through social service, social work, whether through political service, whether you're part of CARE and you're standing up for the rights of Muslims in this country, or whether you're part of any Jama'ah, whether it's Tablighi Jama'ah, ISNA, ICNA, where you are propagating the purpose of Islam, we should be involved. Don't be a sitting duck. Shaitan attacks the sitting duck. If you're not part of any group, if you're not part of any work for Islam, for Deen, you are a sitting duck for Shaitan. And he will lure you and attract you and mesmerize you and suck you into this dunya, living the American dream. What is that? Living the American dream. Just keep making money, keep growing, keep having the luxuries. And you start off with an apartment, then you go to a condo, then from the condo a townhouse, from the townhouse a single family house, from the single family house to a multi-purpose house, from the multi-purpose house to a mansion, from the mansion to a, what is after a mansion? I forgot. I haven't seen anything bigger than a mansion, so my vision is very small, unfortunately. But they say a summer home, a winter home, a home in Florida, a home in Colorado, you can go skiing, a boat, a yacht, that you can go on the Hudson River, your own boat. It's endless. This is what the living American dream is. I have an issue with that word because people come to this country living the dream what? Living the dream of materialism. There is no end for it. You reach one stage, now you go for the next one. After the boat, what do you want next? A cruise liner. My own personal cruise liner. What's after that? My own helicopter, my own plane, my own airport. There's no end for materialism. If somebody's thinking, I'm going to stop at a mansion, like I just did, you're wrong. And that's what Shaitan is saying. فَلَا تُلُومُونِي وَلُومُوا أَنفُسَكُمْ. Don't blame me that I sucked you into the world. Don't blame me that I made you go and chase all these luxuries of life. Blame yourself because you were in a mad frenzy for that and you forgot who? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then it ends off, مَا أَنَا بِمُصْلِحِكُمْ. All those people who thought that Shaitan is their friend and their buddy, Allah says in this ayah to them, مَا أَنَا بِمُصْلِحِكُمْ. On Yawm al-Qiyamah, Shaitan will say, I am not your friend. I'm not your buddy, your close one. وَمَا أَنْتُمْ بِمُصْلِحِي. And you are not my friend. Shaitan is disowning us. If we thought that Shaitan was our friend in dunya, we are the biggest fool on earth. And Shaitan is clearing our foolishness on Yawm al-Qiyamah. مَا أَنَا بِمُصْلِحِكُمْ وَمَا أَنْتَ بِمُصْلِحِي. I am not your friend and you are not my friend. إِنِّي كَفَرْتُ بِمَا أَشْرَكْتُمُونِي مِنْ قَبْلِ. I have disobeyed Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And what you have joined me in that disobedience of Allah. إِنَّ الظَّالِمِينَ لَهُمْ عَذَابٌ أَلِيمٌ. Verily the oppressors for them today on Yawm al-Qiyamah is a great, great punishment. May Allah save all of us from Adhab Jahannam. May Allah save our children from the Adhab Jahannam. I've come back after 9 years living in Pakistan. Many of you know me from before when I lived here. I am very, very scared now. And I'm not trying to scare you. Because when I lived here before in New Jersey, things were not that bad. And I don't know what you guys did when I was away. So that's between you and Allah. But when I came back, you know why things are bad? Because before, when I was Imam in New Jersey, from 2000 to 2009, I never had any mother call me and say, my son, my daughter has become an atheist. But now that I came back after living 9 years from Pakistan, and now that I'm Imam over here in a small masjid in Pakistan, There's not been a single day when our mother calls and says, please, please help. What's going on? This is under the rug, it's under the carpet. Nobody comes in the masjid and says, brother, please make dua for my son, my daughter, they become an atheist. Did you ever hear that? Did anybody announce in MCMC in the last 1 year? Anybody come to the podium and say, brothers, please make dua? No. Because everything is under the carpet. Everything is hush hush. But I'm very worried. I'm very scared. And in fact, I'm so scared that I'm thinking of going back. I keep telling my kids, you shouldn't stay here. It's getting so bad. It's become so worse. Especially with the LGBT in schools and everything and the things. And my small 12-year-old kid is saying, Baba, what is LGBTQ? I say, it's just another part of alphabet. Don't worry about it. When the time comes, I'll tell you what it is. Then later on, when he became 13, teenager, I said, now sit down. I need to tell you something. Because at age 11, or when we came, was too young to understand that. And this disease and malaise that is spreading like a rapid fire. I'm not here to scare you, but I'm just telling you the reality. This is something that as an imam, it's my responsibility to tell parents. Every time I see these young children, I say to Allah, Allah save them. Because these 16, 17, 18-year-old high school kids, they're just leaving the deen. They're not even saying that I become a Christian or a Jew or a Hindu or a Buddhist. They're just outright saying, I don't believe in God. And what really scared me to the death was this one mother from another state, maybe Carolina somewhere, she called. Someone gave her my number because part of IGNA speakers and all. She called and she was crying on the phone that her son, Hafiz al-Quran. Fathers of Hafiz al-Quran, listen girl. Her son, Hafiz al-Quran, leading Taraweeh for 4 years. When he went to college, his freshman year, he started taking courses and got in touch with some professors, got intimate and close to his professors, staying after classes till late night, even on college campus. And then one day he comes and tells his mom and dad, I'm not a Muslim. And he says it on the 1st of Ramadan. When the parents are saying, come, we have to do Taraweeh. So no, I'm an atheist. Main Taraweeh nahi padhau. It was a shocker for this family. They're getting ready to get in the car. We have to go there. People in the masjid, 500 people waiting for you. You've been doing it for the last 4 years. No. I wanted to tell you something, but I could not. I'm telling you, I cannot do tarawih. I cannot stand over there at the imam at the carpet to lead. Can you imagine what a father or mother would feel that night? This is real life story I'm telling you. It's not fictitious. And that's what has really scared me to the death. And that's the reason I chose it. Brother Tamir asked me what you want to talk about in Fajr Dars. That's the reason I brought up this ayah. Shaitan is clearly mesmerizing our children. Shaitan is making inroads to our children. And we are not waking up. We need to protect our children. The society out there has become very, very dangerous. America today in 2019 is nowhere compared to what America was in 2009. Or 1999, or 1989. I first came to America in 1989. In 1999, there was nowhere any sign of LGBTQ. I remember as a freshman student in college, in Maryland, in College Park, there was one person, he said, I don't want to come out of the closet. I was new, I just came from Pakistan, I was young, only 18 years. I said, what is closet? How long have you been living in the closet? We in Pakistan, we don't live in closets, we live in the streets, we live in a house. Oh no, you don't know closet? No, I don't. Where is that? Let me show you. So no, this is a terminology. So for me, it was a big learning experience. What is closet? And you know all what it means. That was a new learning experience for me. This was the America that I entered in 89, and this is the American 30 years, 2019, that if you tell them the closet, they sue you, they say you are racial profiling, you are gender discrimination. Now they have bathrooms which says both gender, or no gender, just bathroom. Whether you're male, female, or this, or that, or this, just go. What have we become? And we're living in this country. And mashallah, we have to protect our children. We need to educate them and make them realize. Because one thing that I found common in all these cases that the parents talk to me about, their children becoming like this, was lack of communication. I asked every father, every mother, how much time do you spend with your, even that Hafiz of Quran family that I said, how much time have you been spending with that son? Oh, I've been working 2 jobs, 3 jobs, I don't have time. Mother also working, father also working. Communication is the key. Spending time with your children is the most important thing, because when you spend time, whether at dinner table or lunchtime or anytime, or on Saturdays and Sundays, you're spending time with the kids, you're talking, you're communicating, you're building a rapport, you're building a bondship. So there is something to hold on to, because when there is no communication, there's no spending of time, the bonds become looser and looser and looser, and the children, they start getting sucked and dragged to some other places. That Hafiz of the Quran was spending more time with that professor in college than his father at home. He was spending more time with the people in the college campus than his mother at home. Hence what? Brainwashed. So to save our children, our family from shaitan, this is the den of shaitan. We don't hear the azan 5 times a day in this country. We're not living in an Islamic environment that you go in the streets, that you have a nice, purified environment. And that is why when we live in Muslim countries, I know people say it's no good over there either, you have this and that. Yes, you have very bad things in those countries, but at least the bottom line is that there is an Islamic environment, there is some kind of protectionism in place. And yes, the disease is entering there too. Let me tell you,